All right, we're back. Beijing quarterfinals, and we're starting with Coco Gauff, who's maybe the favorite, maybe the one of the favorites to win. With Swiatek gone, but it's not going to be easy. She's got to get through this match and then play a top 10 player to get to the final. But with Swiatek losing, Gauff being the defending champion seems like a good choice, but still plenty of tough players. You've got Pelini, you've got Anisimova, you've got Pegula, amongst many others, still in the draw. So we'll see what happens. But Gauff taking on Lys. Lys having a great run this week again. Unseeded player into the quarterfinals. Getting some points for her ranking as well, which is always helpful. Coco is trying to close the gap between her and Swiatek at number 2. So there's a chance that Gauff, depends on the next couple of tournaments, maybe not this year, but Gauff may have a chance early next year to overtake Swiatek or during the start of next year, potentially. She's already qualified for the WTA finals, so that's already locked in. Lys is currently ranked number 45, which is a career high for her. Top 50 first time starting on Monday. 21 spots high already. If she does win this match, she will go into the top 40. But if she loses, 45 will be her ranking, which is a top 50 result. A top 50 ranking result and possibly ends the year in the top 50, just depends on next week, but has a very good chance of staying in the top 50 by year's end. How was my day? So cold today. Wet and cold. It's just been... I went outside, and then as I was about to leave to come home, it started raining, so it was perfect timing. So I went to some thrift stores this morning, and then I watched some movies, and now I'm here. So that's my day. Shanghai draws out for Friday. Yeah, only Djokovic really worth watching. Well, only Djokovic match is the one that I'm looking at tomorrow. I don't think we'll watch the others. It also depends on what happens with the other tournaments, because we've got this tournament tomorrow. We've got Eala's match is happening tomorrow at some time. So yeah, what movie? I watched... Well, last night I watched Amityville Horror, the remake. And then I watched 1408. And then I watched a movie called Bones, which it was okay. It wasn't the greatest movie ever, but it was all right. But 1408 was great. That was a crazy movie. That movie was... that movie messes with your mind. Can't choose any of these ones. They're both good. Friends of Alexandra Eala. Yeah. Well, they both play doubles with Eala, right? So yeah, so I'm just kind of hoping that I'll tell you, if tomorrow, if Eala plays first thing tomorrow, which would mean that it'd be lunchtime, my time, and then Djokovic playing tomorrow night, and nothing in the middle, that'd be perfect. What I buy from the thrift? So I bought... What did I buy? I bought Poltergeist. I found Poltergeist on DVD, the original. Pacific Rim, because somebody said yesterday to buy it, and I found it for $1. And the 3-pack of Final Destination 1, 2, and 3. So I got that. And then I found 3 different IKEA lamps, which are really cool. One of them looks very... the guy was like, hey, it's really, really fancy. And I'm like, yeah, it is fancy. So, yeah. So that's what I found. Still got the phone. Yeah, I tried the phone out. It doesn't ring. So unfortunately, that phone that I bought doesn't ring. which is not fun. You won't regret buying Pacific Rim, okay? (2-0) for Coco. Yeah, I don't think Gauff is going to be too... Unless Gauff serves badly. I don't think Gauff will be too... She won't be overpowered by Lys. It'll be up to Lys to be a bit aggressive, I think. But yeah. Hopefully the schedule starts to come out for tomorrow, so I can figure out what we're doing. Should be coming out soon. It's almost finished. The day's play over in Suzhou. And then, yeah. Hey, what's up, Zero? All right, Gauff to serve. I got Gauff in straights. We've got Anisimova Paolini later, which is a very interesting match. I'm really keen to see it. They're so different styles too. It's a very good match. Paolini playing for a spot and trying to get into the mix of WTA finalists too. So it's a big match for her. Anisimova trying to qualify. So yeah, it's pretty important match. The next one, which is coming up later, as Gauff hits a 4-hand win up. Great rally, 15-love. Sleep schedule messed up, 3:30 in the morning, yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I know how that feels. $15-love. As Lee sits it out in the return, 30-love. There are matches going on in Shanghai as well. I haven't kept up to date with it, but Opelka's down a set against Bonzi right now. Wawrinka went down to Marijan. That was yesterday. Brooksby got the win earlier today. Atman retired with heat stroke, I think it was. I saw something that was pretty scary. So yeah. That's all that's been going on at the moment. As Gauff hits a forehand down the middle into the back end of Lys, and then Lys down the line to the forehand of Gauff into the back end of Lys, again the forehand of Gauff. Gauff hits in the net, 30-15. 30-15. Oh, we're almost at 100 likes. Can we get to 100 likes before the end of this game? Before the end of this first game? Here come the excuses to retire? Huh? What are you talking about? What's this guy going on about? What's this guy on? Come on now. We just got here. 30-15. Dude coming in here, what are you? Coming in here just negative energy, bro. Come on. We just got here. 40-15. Come on, man. All right. Gauff first game, 40-15. As that goes in net by Gauff, 40-30. As the return goes into the forehand of Gauff. Gauff hits a winner down the line and takes the first game of the match. All right. 1-love Gauff. All right. They're just showing that Coco has qualified which is good. Oh, yes. Let's go. Thank you, Dutchie. Let's go. Tomorrow, I might have a day of things to... I might be able to do stuff. Let's go. Let's go. Eala's playing first thing in the morning. Let's go. That means I get to... We'll watch her, and then I might be able to go see the Leo DiCaprio movie. Let's go. And then I'll come back and watch Djokovic later. Let's go. All right. Let's go. That's so good. Sinner's not playing tomorrow, by the way. He gets a day off. He gets an extra day off. All right, 15 love. As a backhand rally. Into the forehand of Gauff now as Lys comes to the net. I nearly said Eala for some unknown reason. As that smash goes wide by Lys. It's 15-all. I'm rooting for both because both would be partner of Eala. Nice. All right, 15-0. As we got a backhand into the forehand of Gauff. To the backhand of Eala. Gauff with a backhand. Into the backhand of Eala. Gauff with the backhand cross court. Eala gets it on the stretch. And then Gauff with a forehand in the net. 30-15. Is the schedule for Beijing out tomorrow as well? That will be helpful. Yeah, Eala's not playing. Sorry. That's tomorrow. I was just getting ahead of myself. All right, 30-15. As it a forehand from Lys down the line. Great shot. As Gauff sliced it back. Lys goes cross court at the forehand of Gauff. Into the forehand of Lys as we get a slice from Gauff in the net. 40-15. Sorry, did I say Eala? You know why I'm getting confused? Because Eva Lys just has the same letters as Eala. And also I was talking about Eala. Because we're watching her tomorrow. So I'm getting confused. I'll say Djokovic in a minute because I'm trying to figure out the schedule for tomorrow. All right. 40-15. As the return goes to forehand of Lys. Forehand now from Gauff into the forehand of Lys. Gauff with the backhand as Lys hits a forehand to the backhand of Gauff. Again, the forehand of Lys. Gauff with a slice in the net. And it's 1-1. 1-1. But yeah, so tomorrow... tomorrow we're probably not going to watch Beijing because I am... not going to be home. So that makes it tough to stream if I'm not around. Does that make sense? But Pegula Navarro is the match that we would watch anyway, and that's happening at the same time as Djokovic, so we'll see. We might watch Djokovic versus and Navarro and Pegula all at the same time. Because they're playing at the same time. Yeah. So yeah, maybe we will. I don't know, but we're watching Eala, and then we're gonna watch Djokovic, and they're the matches we're gonna watch. All right, 4-1 now is out by Lys, 30 love, and we might watch Pegula Navarro. I don't know, maybe, but Sinner's not playing tomorrow. Sheldon's playing, but like I said, it's right in the middle of the day, so Shelton's playing first thing tomorrow, which is when I'm not going to be around. Runa's playing Baez tomorrow as well, right in the middle of the day. Fritz is playing after Djokovic. Okay. And then Sinner will play on Saturday against Altmaier. So that's fun. Coco holds 2-0. 2-1. 2-1. If you see it, let us know your thoughts on the Leo movie. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and see it tomorrow. It is on my plan. It's on my list of things to do tomorrow. How long does it go for? It goes for 162 minutes. That sounds like a long time. Is that like 3 hours? Is it a 3-hour movie? Well, you really liked it? Okay. All right. Gauff with the lead, 2-1. All right, 2-1. Coco. All right, back to Lys. And the return goes back into Gauff. And Gauff gets the point. Lys hits it long. And it's love 15. Well, there's a forehand to the slice of Gauff, and Gauff hits it wide. 15. 15 all. Please keep the creepy comments to yourself. Don't say them out loud. Thank you. 15 all. As the return goes into the backhand of Lys. Forehand now from Gauff. Into the backhand of Lys. To the backhand of Gauff. As Lys with the pass. Gauff with the volley. Lys gets with the pass again, but Gauff's got the volley winner. 15-30. 15-30. 15-30. $15.30. As the return goes back end of Lys. Backhand now from Gauff. And Lys with the forehand in the net. All right. 15-40. Lys in trouble. $15.40. First serve is fault. Second serve. Serving to the front of Gauff. Gauff is wide. 30-40. It's a shame they keep recycling the same people to play Gauff in every tournament or make the easiest or highly probable players to win against her. It's unfair. I need you to elaborate. What do you mean? 30-40. By the way, Coco's got to play a top 10 player in the next round. How's that easy? I don't get that. Like, what? She's got to play Anisimova or Paolini next. The top half of the draw is the easier part with all the upsets that happened. I mean, Gauff had to play Bencic and Fernandez. They're pretty tough. Very tough. And they both nearly beat her, so... Still break point here, 30-40. So backhand now from Eala. It's Eva Lys. 30-40, backhand again from Lys into the backhand of forward of Gauff as Lys gets a backhand on the stretch. Gauff with the backhand down the middle. Lys is just getting it back. Gauff just hitting it down the middle at the moment as they go backhand to backhand. Lys gets it back. Gauff doesn't come to the net, but hits a drop shot winner anyway. And that's too good. Coco breaks. I caught myself. See, I didn't muck it up. All right. All right. Gauff breaks 3-1. Gauff draw is pretty tough, not going to lie. Yeah, I agree. It couldn't have been... The only way it could have been tougher is if Lys didn't beat Raducanu. And it was Raducanu versus Gauff. But other than that, like, this is probably the easiest opponent she's had. But Fernandez, Bencic, doesn't get... I mean, both of them are very tough. Maybe Krejcikova or Alexandrova here, or... I don't know. I mean, who do you want to put here? And then the next round is going to be Paolini or Anisimova, so that's not easy. Top half of the draw, I mean, if you said that about Pegula and said, hey, Pegula's draw has been easier, well, I would probably say no as well, because you played Tomanovic, Raducanu, and Kostyuk. I don't think there's anyone's had an easy draw. I mean, Noskova beat Zhang, Cartel beat Andreeva, obviously Navarro beat Swiatek. Paolini beat Kennan. Didn't have to play Kurumoto. I mean, Paolini's draw has been easy up until today. And Anisimova played Mukova. Lys has played tough matches. So, I mean, I don't think anyone's had an easy road. I mean, if you don't like Coco, just say so. You know, don't have to pretend. Don't have to wrap it up in a wrap it up in a comforting statement to make yourself feel better. Just say, hey, I don't like Coco Gauff and I hope she loses. And it's like, okay, that's your opinion. Fair enough. That's that's okay. We have our favorites. Don't pretend like she's got some favoritism or something. Because that's not true. Gauff 15-0. Coco serves again. As the return goes to the forehand of Gauff. Lys. The forehand to the forehand of Gauff as Lys goes to the backhand of Gauff. As Lys hits a win up, and it's 15-30. We'd love to see a Raducanu Gauff match. I know, right? Maybe at the WTA Finals we'll finally get one. And look, the person that said that, maybe you didn't know who she had played before. You just thought like, oh, this match is easy. Gauff doesn't get a tough quarterfinal. What's that about? Fair enough, but again, she did play Bencic, she did play Fernandez, and both of them are very tricky. So you could say that this is an easy match for Coco, even though she's about to get broken. But maybe you just didn't know that she'd played some tough opponents before today. Maybe you thought it was like unseeded easy players the whole way. It's not true. She almost lost to Bencic. As that goes out by Lys, 30-40. 30-40. All right. As that goes out by Coco, and Lys breaks. Bencic isn't as good as she was before. What, like before May? Like, what do you mean before? Like, Bencic wasn't good, isn't as good as she was at like in February, maybe? I mean, okay. Disagree, but okay. Bencic made the semis at Wimbledon. Even I forgot that. Yeah. Yeah, okay. She hasn't been good since Wimbledon. Is that what you're trying to say? Gene, that's why you're here. We needed you to help us with that because I didn't remember that. That's on me. That's funny, though. Yeah. Yeah, Bencic has not been good for like a month. Bencic had a solid year. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I think people just don't like Coco Gauff for some reason, but got to make reasons why they don't like her instead of just blatantly saying, I don't like this player. All right, we're back on serve, by the way. 3-2. As we get a forehand from Gauff to the backhand of Lys. Lys in the net. Love 15. Love 15. As we're back in from Lys into the forehand of Gauff. Lys can't get it back. Love 30. Love 30. Gauff is one of the least liked players on the WTA Tour. It's a shame. She has a nice personality. Yeah, I don't know why. I mean, she doesn't do... I mean, I don't... yeah. I do know why. Because some people that probably get annoyed at Gauff are more annoyed at how many... Because she's been around for a long time. But she's been promoted, and she should be, because she's the best American player, and she's won 2 Grand Slams. So I don't know why. Like, it's not like it's unjustified, but I guess people are probably sick of her being... people like getting promoted. I don't know, which seems silly because like she is the best American player. Of course, she's going to get a lot of airtime, and people are like she's going to be like she's the best chance America's got at slams. So like, why wouldn't she be? But maybe people are just annoyed at that. And she is like all that's talked about in American tennis, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, she breaks, love 30. Love 40 and break, 4-2. Which is crazy because, like, if you're an American, you like American tennis players, she's your best chance of winning a slam, so why wouldn't you root for her, right? People don't like Coco because she wins matches she isn't supposed to. Seems almost like a scam. Not what I'm saying, but what I've seen and heard. So in other words, you lose money when you bet on it. So is it salty bets? That's the salty bettors are like, she's unreliable and I lose money. That's a you problem, bro. Again, like we say this all the time. Like, it's not Gauff's fault that that you put money on her or against her or whatever you did. Just don't touch her matches if you don't want that. That's what it is, right? We figured it out. People are like, oh, Gauff's going to lose this match against Sabalenka. I'm going to bet Sabalenka. And then they lose. And then they go, oh, well, now I'm going to bet Gauff against Lys. And then Lys beats it, And they go, That's why it is. It's nothing to do with Coco as a person. It's just a bunch of bad betting. Which, again, is not her fault. She's just trying to play tennis, man. Just let her play games. Just let her play the game. Put your money back in your pocket. Enjoy it. Or don't watch her. Don't bet on her because it must be a problem. Anyways, 15:30. Chance for Lys to break back. 15:30. As Gauff hits it out, and it's 15:40. A chance for Lys to get back on serve. All right, return. Goes into the forehand of Lys, and Lys hits a winner. All right, Lys breaks back. And back on serve, 4-3. All right. All right. We're back on serve. Lys breaks again. All right. Lys one of the best baseliners of the WTA I've seen. Yeah, she's like Lisa's definitely got like a Pellini style, I find. I think her and Pellini, she's almost like a less like intense Pellini. That feels like a comparison that if you watch Pellini, that's sort of the game that Lys brings. Is that Pellini probably a bit better at the net? And definitely a lot more fiery, Pellini, than Lys is a little bit more smiley and a little less, like intense between points and during points. But yeah, she's a great retriever. She's quick. Not the most powerful player, but can hit a good ground stroke when she gets a chance. So that's sort of the style she brings, Lys. All right, see you later, Dutchie. All right, Lys backhand into the backhand of Gauff. There's Lys to the backhand to the forehand of Gauff. Into the forehand of Lys on the stretch. Gauff backhand. Into the backhand of Lys on the stretch. That's a great shot. Gauff gets it back, but it's in the net. Lys is, again, very quick. She's got great anticipation as well to get to the shots. 15 love. Definitely scrappy, I would say. She's definitely a scrappy sort of player. Just gets that extra shot back that players don't expect. As we're backing from Lys down the line to the front of Gauff. Lys hits that one in the net, 15-0. $15-all. As that goes out by Lys, and it's 15-30. All right. Backhand goes down the line. From Lys into the forward of Gauff. There's Lys backhand to the slice of Gauff and Gauff in the net. 30-0. All right, 30-0. As Lys serves again. Forehand down the middle by Lys goes long. All right, 30-40. Gauff to get the break again. And then she'll be able to serve for the set. As the return goes backhand of Lys. Forehand from Gauff to the backhand of Lys. As Gauff with a forehand cross court. Lys gets it. Into the backhand of Gauff. As Lys to the backhand on the stretch. Gauff again to the backhand of Lys. Into the backhand of Gauff, who slices it. Lys backhand down the line. Gauff gets with the forehand again to the backhand of Lys. Lys hits it wide. Break again. 5-3. Coco will serve for the set. All right. All right. 5-3. Gauff serving for the set. She serves the fault. Second serve. Second serve. As the return goes in the net by Lys. 15-love. As Gauff gets a 30-love. Love. As the return goes forehand of Lys. Gauff with the backhand to the backhand of Lys. Gauff with the forehand down the line. Lys is there with the backhand cross court. Gauff gets it. Into the backhand of Lys to the forehand of Gauff as Lys Again to the front of Gauff. And then Lys goes down the line. Gauff slices it back, but it's in the net. 30-15. $30-15. There's Gauff backhand down the line in the net. 30-all. Chance for Lys to get back on the serve again. Gauff serves. A fault. Second serve. She double faults. 30-40. To get back on serve. All right, ace from Gauff. And we get the deuce. By the way, calling Gauff overrated after she's won 2 Grand Slams is wild. You're so overrated. You got 2 Grand Slams and a handful of Masters 1000s, and you won the WTA Finals, and you've beaten Sabalenka many times, and now starting to beat Swiatek. Prove it. Prove that you're good. I don't believe you. That's crazy. And you're what, 21? Be better. Get better. Come on now. Do something. That's what you sound like. It's weird, right? Advantage Gauff. So take the first set. For somebody whose name is True Takes, come on, you can't believe that. As the return goes in from Lys to the front of Gauff. Into the front of Lys. Lys hits a wide. Gauff holds. To win the first set, 6-3. All right. All right. By the way, Coco takes the first. All right. First set in the bag. Gifted 2 slams? Bro. Oh, my God. Man. That's wild. Anyways. Good serving by Coco. Despite being broken only broke the one time. Only was broken the one time, I should say. That can't be right because she was broken twice. The stats are wrong on the screen. Why are the stats wrong? 1 out of 2 break points? That's not true. That's not true. All right. Anyway, so there are the stats. Coco actually served pretty well. A lot of first serves in. Looks like she's not going for her first serve as much, which is why you can see there that her first serve percentage is high, but the points won is low. I reckon Coco's taken a little bit off her first serve just to get it in to avoid double faults, right? So the biggest problem we've seen with her serve was double faults. To avoid double faults, try and get your first serve in rather than trying to hit an ace. It feels like Gauff's trying to get in the rally. But the thing is, when you're playing against somebody with like Lys, who isn't going to hit the return like a Sabalenka or a Nisimova, right? you can afford to sort of get the first serve in rather than trying to hit the first serve for an ace, because the returns are not going to be as aggressive as the names that I just mentioned. So, kind of smart from Coco if that's what she's doing, just trying to get the first serve in to not give away any free points. Only one double fault, which was at the very end there. So, but she won't be able to do that if she plays Anisimova, because Anisimova is obviously going to return a lot bigger, so you're going to have to serve better and serve harder. You know? All right. Lys serving in the second. Serving first. 15 love. All right. As that goes out by Lys, 15-0. $15-all. As Lys with a backhand cross court. Gauff gets on the stretch. Into the backhand of Lys. To the forehand of Gauff as Lys backhand again. Into the forehand of Gauff as Lys with the forehand in the net. 15-30. All right, 15-30. There's a bit of forehand from Gauff into the forehand of Lys. Gauff with a forehand on the stretch. Lys again to the forehand of Gauff. Lys puts up a lob. Gauff goes cross court with the forehand. Lys gets it back. And then Gauff goes down the line. Lys in control. Backhand winner. That's a great rally by Lys. That's counter-punching exactly the way that it was. Like if you don't know what that is, that was what it was. That's counter-punching at its best. Defending, and then when you get a little chance to attack a ball and then hit the open court for a winner. Great turnaround from Lys. And she's just like, yes, I want a point. I tell you what, Lys is a very charming player to watch. She's got a good personality. She's got that like relatable personality where it's like, I want a point against the number 3 in the world, and it took me forever. Yeah, like she just has that like very like relatable personality. Like if any of us were playing Coco Gauff and we want a point, we'd probably have the same reaction. Be like, yes, we finally won a point. She's better than us, but you know, she definitely has that. Just a very like a cool personality. 40-30. As a return from Gauff goes out, and Lys holds. 1-love. On social media, she's funny and relatable. I've noticed that she's on like a lot of the WTA socials. Or at least in the last, like, since the Australian Open, right? Since she had that breakout. Sunday weather in Shanghai is going to be 35 degrees. Good luck. Yuck. All right. Back to Coco. 1-love to Lys. As Gauff wins a point, 15 love. As Gauff serves again. That goes out by Lys, 30 love. As Gauff serves into the forehand of Lys. Forehand from Gauff. To the backhand of Lys on the stretch. Gauff. Forehand cross court. Lys gets it. And hits a winner down the line. Nice pickup. 30-15. $30-15. As Gauff serves again. Into the forehand of Lys. Forehand from Gauff to the backhand of Lys. As Gauff with the forehand. Again to the backhand of Lys. Cross court the backhand of Gauff. Lys. Backhand again to the backhand of Gauff with a drop shot. Lys gets it though. And then Gauff with a volley, but Lys is there with a backhand volley winner. 30 all. A chance for Lys to maybe get the lead here with a break. 30 all. Great rally by Lys. As Gauff serves. A fault. Second serve. Serve in the form of Lys. Return goes wide. That was a big second serve by Coco. She hit that hard. 40-30. As the return goes out by Lys as well. 1-1. All right. 1-1. By the way, look, I love that you're so passionate about Anisimova, but why? And I get like you're watching this match because you want to see who she's going to play next if she beats Palini, right? I understand all that, but why are you picking fights with Coco Gauff fans? Why don't you just watch her later and then when we watch Coco, if she wins versus Anisimova, if she wins, then you can come in here and we can have this like whole thing tomorrow or the next day. Like, why? You don't need to come in and like be like in a room full of Gauff fans, tell them all that she's not good. Like, that's a bad idea. Just come back from the Anisimova match and and tell us how good she is when she plays Palini. That might be better. Be much easier for everybody. Nothing like going to a room full of Gauff fans and saying that she's bad. It's not going to make any friends. As that backhand goes to the net by Lys. And it's 15-all. And we are watching Anisimova later, so you're welcome to come back for sure. And tell us how good Anisimova is, and we'll talk about her a lot more there. 15-all. I just, you might not like Coco, but let's just at least respect the people that do, And respect that they like her, and you're not going to change their minds by stating facts about things that you believe, by stating out, like, she's got a bigger forehand or whatever. Anyway, slice goes into the backhand of Lys, backhand from Gauff, is a winner. And it's 15-30. Great backhand from Coco. Don't understand if you watch a player you don't like, there's no point. No, like I understand why people would watch this match. If you're a fan of Palin or Anisimova, or any of the other ladies still in the draw, I totally get that. That's totally fine, you know. You want to see what Coco looks like because she's probably going to play your favorite player in the next couple of days, right? So I get that. I'm not confused by people watching Coco, but it's confusing that people would then argue with Coco Gauff fans about who's better. Like, that's too far. I don't understand that. Because you're not going to convince them to all of a sudden go, oh yeah, right, the player that I've been supporting for like 5 years, yeah, I should just go to Anisimova. She's actually, you're right, you convinced me in this random YouTube chat. You've done it. It's not going to work. They're going to defend Coco to the death, so you're just you're fighting a losing battle, right? Just let them love Coco, and you love Anisimova, and then come back and watch her, and we'll watch them play each other, hopefully, and go from there. 40-30. A lot easier. Who will win between the battle of the sellout billionaire daughters? That sentence makes no sense. That sentence makes no sense. Okay, you have to now, Haroon, you have to explain what you mean by sellout. How do you mean sellout? What do you mean by sellout? Who sold out? You need to explain yourself because that was a wild statement. How did Pegula and Navarro sell out? That makes no... I don't understand that. I don't know. Do you know what that word means? Lys holds 2-1. What the hell statement was that? Like, what do you mean by sellout? How do you explain that? Yeah, but David, if you don't like Gauff's game, then why are you watching? If you like Lys, that's great. But also, like, support Lys, you know? Wild. I don't know what that means. Why? How did they sell out? I don't get it. That doesn't make sense. I don't get it. Anyways, Coco... Sorry, Lys leads 2-1. Because the meaning of a sellout is someone who compromises one's principles, integrity, and authenticity for personal gain, typically money or power. I don't know how them choosing a life of tennis is selling out. I feel like that's a torture. I mean, selling out would be retiring and going and working for their dad's businesses. That feels like a little bit more of a sellout than pursuing a life of unthankful, like, no thanks tennis, right? I mean, you know what I mean? Navarro's been selling out all year. Now she magically beats... Okay. You don't know what the wording sellout means. You're using the wrong word. Sellout's not the word. What do you mean? Anyways, 2-1 Lys. This is getting wild. I don't know what's going on. Is everyone okay? I know it's probably everyone's... It's late, isn't it? It's because everyone's tired. It's a late night. I know. I get it. It's like... late in wherever you're from. It's early in Europe, maybe. I don't know. This is a late... Everyone's tired. Everyone's tired and saying crazy shit. I get tired too, and I get grumpy and shit, and I say things, and I get it. Anyways, 2-1. Lys leads. Into the backhand now down the line. Is a winner by Coco. 15-love. 15-love. All right, 15-love. As we get a serve into the front of Lys. Lys is a wide. 30-love. 30 love. And we've got a fault second serve. As the return goes into the form of Lys. Back in our passing shot from Gauff. Lys with the volley. Gauff gets it and puts it away. 40 love. We gotta reel it back in, everybody. Let's just lock in a little bit more. Deb's not here to stop the madness, so everybody just needs to chill out. Everybody chill out. 2-0. Coco holds. Everybody just needs to relax. We're here. We're watching tennis. Everything's fine. There's way worse things in the world going on right now. We don't need to. We don't need to make our sport one of them. We love this sport. We're having fun. We're having fun. We're having fun. Shut up and have fun. 2-0. As with a slice from Coco into the forehand of Lys. Backing up from Gauff. Into the forehand of Lys is Gauff. Goes long with a forehand. 15 love. Nothing, DJ. Don't worry about it. We're moving on. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As Lys double faults, 15-0. As we get a fault from Lys, second serve. That goes out by Lys, 15-30. As Gauff with the backhand. Into the forehand of Lys. Gauff with the forehand down the line. But it goes wide. 30-all. As we get a serve to the forehand of Gauff. Forehand from Lys down the line. Great shot. 40-30. 40-30. Valentina, I'll tell you why Federer gets in a year early. It's because he played his last singles match in 2021. It just clicked. I think it's because his last singles match, and also maybe the Laver Cup doubles doesn't count as an official match. I don't know if the doubles does. The singles does, but remember how he didn't play? He hasn't played singles since 2021. That might be why. And I don't know if Laver Cup doubles counts as an official match, whereas the singles does. But he played the last match he played was in 2022, and it was only one doubles match. So it might be that. I don't know if it's. I'm pretty sure it doesn't count. Yeah, I don't think a Laver Cup doubles match counts as an official match in the same way as singles does. Gauff's got a break point. Let me double check. But yeah, because that is strange, right? But the last time he played singles was in 2021 Wimbledon, right? So yeah, I'm not sure if a doubles match counts as an official, a Laver Cup doubles match counts towards your official doubles. As Coco can't get that one back. All right, so it does. Okay, I'm just having a look. So apparently it does count. So my next question is, maybe the Hall of Fame is based on singles, when your final singles match was, not your final doubles match. Maybe? Because Leighton played. I remember Leighton played doubles. And that might have got him... That might have postponed things. Because Navratilova got in and then she played doubles. So maybe doubles is not considered the final match. Maybe it's your final singles match 5 years from that. Maybe that's what it is. Perhaps. But I'll find out in a second. All right. As Lys gets to deuce. All right, deuce. All right, first serve is a fault, second serve. As that goes the net by Lys. And it's advantage. Advantage Gauff to get the break in the second. Doesn't have hang on. Be on the website. All right. Lys goes to the backhand of Gauff. As Lys with a backhand cross court, Gauff gets on the stretch. Lys goes with a forehand into the forehand of Gauff to the backhand of Lys. Hits it wide. All right, Coco takes the break in the second. Okay. Oh, interesting. So inductions, categories, eligibility. Active as a competitor in the sport within the last 20 years prior to consideration. Not a significant factor on the ATP or WTA within 5 calendar years for election. If a player retires in any time in 2020, then they will be eligible for induction in 2025. Okay. Well, maybe not a significant factor on the WTA within 5 calendar years. Playing one doubles match in 2022 probably doesn't count as significant. So maybe that's why. So the last significant, matches he played were 2021. Does that make... So that's probably how they've kind of, I guess, got around that. Is because Federer didn't play any significant ATP calendar matches. He only played one doubles match at the Laver Cup. It doesn't... They kind of maybe don't count 2022 as a season for him because he didn't play a season. He played one match, right? So maybe that makes sense. Whereas Serena, she played a lot of tennis in 2022, right? She played all of that US Open swing, and that's significant. So she wouldn't have been able to go in this year. She has to wait an extra year. That is my guess. You know? It doesn't say you must have 0 matches in your name as of for 5 years. It says just not a significant factor on the ATP. And he wasn't a significant factor on the ATP, Federer, in 2022. So that seems to be the where they've distinguished him being in. Which is fair enough, because, yeah, he didn't do anything on the ATP in 2022. He played one Laver Cup match, and that was to say goodbye. So totally fair. But yeah, it's interesting that active as a competitor in the sport within the last 20 years. So that means any player who retired more than 20 years ago who is not in the Hall of Fame cannot be in the Hall of Fame, which is a bit interesting. So where does Juan Carlos Ferrero fall into that? Because he, as a player, has been out of competition for a while, right? I mean, nearly 20 years. Right? When did he retire? 2012. Okay, so Juan Carlos has got a fair bit of time. Still got 7 years until and same with Carlos Moya. But both of them will get in eventually through being a coach anyway. By the way, chat, contributor category, which is the one that I'm trying to go for in 100 years, either 5 years removed from committed work in tennis or at least 65 years old, so I'm not there yet. A true pioneer, visionary leader, or individual group who made a transcendent impact on the sport, to be determined. Consideration will be given to the integrity, sportsmanship, and character of the person. Okay. Okay, I think I'm a good person. I'm a nice person, right? Chat, back me up. The contributor category is eligible for consideration every 2 years, and a maximum of 2 candidates are eligible to be elected. Okay. So we're just going to do this for another 20 years? 20, 30, 40 years? Is YouTube going to be around? I don't think it's going to work. I don't think YouTube's going to be around by the time I'm eligible. Damn it. That's all right. As long as one person remembers this channel. And it's 30-40. All right, breakback point. But yeah, so that makes sense why Federer is next year and not the year after, because yeah, I guess 2022 didn't count in the Hall of Fame's eyes, which is fair. Yeah, when was Delpo's last match? That's a good question. I guess Delpo only played one match at the start of 2022, right? Yeah, he played one match against Delbonis. So again, I guess that's not a significant contribution. Also, Delpo didn't play between 2019 and 2022. He played one match, so I totally see why Delpo got accepted as well, because yeah, he hasn't played a significant calendar since 2019. He's played one match in 3 years. So, all right, advantage Lys. Is it a backhand now from Lys into the backhand of Gauff? Lys with the backhand to the forehand of Gauff. Great shot down the line from Gauff. Slice from Lys. Into the forehand of Gauff as Lys backhand cross court. Gauff goes down the line. Lys gets on the stretch and hits it in the net. Back to deuce. Can a player choose where his Hall of Fame ceremony to be held, or is it in the US? It's always in the US. They always do it at the Hall of Fame. After Wimbledon. It's always at the Hall of Fame in where's the venue? Just so I can get it right. In Newport, Rhode Island, USA. It is that is where it is. It is. All right, double fault from Coco. Advantage Lys. to get back on serve. Advantage Lys. Serve in the back of Lys. Forehand from Gauff into the forehand of Lys as Gauff down the line. Goes long. 3-0. We're back on serve. 3-3. So next, I guess 2027 is when we'll get Serena in the Hall of Fame. I'm going to guess now, okay? 2027 will be Barty, Serena, up for nomination. I don't know if they will get in. Barty, because like her last contribution, I mean, she won the Australian Open in 2022, right? So you can't say that she didn't do anything in that season. She won a Grand Slam. Serena's last significant matches were obviously at the end of the US Open swing in 22. So both of them will be up for nomination. Who else though? Who else retired in 2022 that sort of ticks the boxes? Can't remember. All right, 15 love. As Lys tries to take the lead. And eventually Lys makes an error. All right, so I'm just having a look at who retired in 2022. Who had... So Serena, Barty, Tsonga, but he didn't win a slam. Dylan Alcott. Dylan Alcott will get in because I think every 2 years. What was there's a certain like every year, WTA and ATP players are considered, but then so in 2027. Next year it'll be a player and a contributor. 2027 will be a player and a wheelchair tennis player, which again, it's going to be Dylan Alcott because Dylan Alcott, one of the greatest wheelchair players of all time, and it'll be 5 years since he retired. So it'll be Alcott will get in, Barty, Serena. They're the three that I'm thinking they're gonna put up. Because unless there's a doubles player that I'm missing. I don't know. There might be a doubles player I'm missing. But I would say that Dylan Alcott gets in 27, along with Serena or Barty. Yeah. That would be my guess. All right. Yeah, I don't think Barty and Serena will get in together. That's why I'm thinking it might be Serena. And you know what they should do is we get to 30-40, backhand to backhand rally. As that goes down the line to the forehand of Gauff. Backhand now from Lys. The backhand of Gauff is Lys. With the backhand again. The backhand of Gauff. Lys forehand cross court. Gauff gets it. With a slice. Lys forehand cross court again. Gauff gets it. Lys with a volley. Gauff with the backhand. Goes wide. We get the deuce. I think what they should do is they should give Barty and Alcott should get in at the same year. So they should probably, like, Serena should be the year after. You know, Serena should, I mean, I agree. Serena should get her own ceremony and then maybe give Barty, because you can't say Barty can't get in the Hall of Fame because she was number one in the world for so long. She has 3 Grand Slams, right? And Dylan Alcott's a legend of wheelchair tennis. So I would put them in on the same year, and then you put Serena in on her own the year after. That's how I would go. Or, you know, even better, Sam Stosur retired at the start of 23. So maybe you could put Stosur, Barty, and Alcott, the Aussies, all in at the same time and have a bit of an Aussie-themed 2027 Hall of Fame. And then Serena in 2028 is Serena. Just Serena. Just Serena. No one else. Just Serena. And then Rafa and Andy and everyone else. Anyways, advantage Gauff. There's a backhand now from Lys. Goes long. Gauff holds. Break, sorry. 4-3. 4-3. Because I'm just looking at the process here. So the way it works is in 2028, a player and a contributor will get in. And, contributor, like I said, I just went through that, what that means. But, yeah, a player and a wheelchair tennis player gets in 2027. And like I said, Dylan Alcott will most likely be that wheelchair tennis player. Unless he comes out of retirement next year and decides to play, which will then mean that he has to, postpone his, his thing. But yeah, and then have Serena going in 28. And then 29 will be Rafa. No doubt, right? Rafa and maybe Andy. Or maybe just Rafa. And then 2030 might be Andy. Maybe you go 2029. And then, look, I don't know if Jamie Murray still plays, but maybe 2030 you get the Murray brothers. Jamie for the doubles and Andy for the singles. Maybe get them in. And then Novak in the 2030s whenever he retires. That sort of. Again, they're going to try. They're going to drag this thing out where they're going to do one great player every year. They're not going to stack the cards and go, okay, Rafa, Serena, and Andy all at the same time. They want to spread that out, Rafa can get in 2029. And he will get in 2029. Like 2029, that'll be straight away. They will not wait a second for Rafa. I don't think they'll go, you're getting in. Coaches qualify. As a contributor, they can, yeah. I think there's a but you have to be over 65 or not coaching for 5 years. So, anyways, Gauff with the set and a break. We got there in the end. Significant season is, look, if you played one match in that entire season, it's probably not significant. But if you played multiple tournaments or you've had, like Barty won a Grand Slam in 2022, so she wouldn't be able to get in any time earlier because her winning a slam is significant. And Serena played like 3 or 4 tournaments in 2022, so she wouldn't be able to get in next year either. So they have to wait an extra year, Playing one match, which is what Del Potro and Federer did in 2022, is not significant enough to say like, oh, they played a full card or no, they didn't. They didn't play anything. Played one match, Anyway, 15-0. So it's just common sense, I think. And Kuznetsova didn't play anything since 2021, so that's 5 years. So she's in. By the way, these 3 players won't all get in. It's just they're all being up for nomination. Now, they might all still... I don't know if... The thing is, I don't know if Delpo's going to get in on his own. Like, that's why it's really kind of... It's not fair to have Federer, Del Potro, and Kuznetsova because everyone will vote for Federer. But Federer would get in without the votes. You don't need to vote for Federer to get him in the Hall of Fame. He'll get in without having to vote for him. The fan vote shouldn't go to Federer. It should go to Delpo or Kuznetsova. Federer shouldn't be in that. It's so crazy. Because if you take Federer out, he's going to get in anyway. There's like a handful of players that have done more than him in the sport. Like he's getting in without the fan vote. So it's crazy to have poor Del Potro and Kuznetsova up against Federer as a fan vote. That's why I voted for Delpo, because it's like, well, Federer's getting in anyway. So Delpo might not get in if we don't vote for him. You know what I mean? Because Delpo's had a great career, but it's like the bare minimum to get considered, right? 1 Grand Slam. number 3 in the world, like 1,000, right? He doesn't have that. I mean, he has as much as Dominic Thiem. So if Thiem, we don't know if Thiem's going to get nominated or not later. Maybe him and Nadal, right, in like 5 years. But yeah, Delpo doesn't have the career stats to get him in automatically. You know what I mean? We all maybe we love Delpo and we want him in, but Delpo is not a sure thing to make the Hall of Fame. That's why we've got to vote for him. So then the fan vote counts. You vote for Federer, you're just throwing the vote away. I mean, why would you vote for Federer? He doesn't need the vote. He's going to win. He's going to get in. They're going to put him in next year, even if he doesn't win the fan vote. But if you vote for Delpo or Kuznetsova, they're actually going to get. It counts. It's not a waste because Federer is going to win the popular vote too. He won fan favorite for 15 years in a row. It's not fair. It's not fair that they put him up. It's not fair that they put them all together. Federer shouldn't have even been in the votes. It's not fair. It's not a fan vote. It's not fair. Yeah, Federer's a Hall of Famer without our help. We don't need to help him. You would make zero difference by voting for. Yeah, voting for Federer is a waste of a vote. Like if you voting for Federer is a waste. Vote for Kuznetsova or Delpo because if you believe they deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, vote for them. Because Federer doesn't need your vote, right? He doesn't need your vote. Don't vote for Federer because you like him. He'll get in. He doesn't need your help. He's got this. Delpo needs your help. Kuznetsova might need your help as well. They both had great careers, but again, you're voting for them will make. Why am I campaigning? Anyways, 5-3. Do whatever you want. 5-3 Gauff. Federer's going to get the popular vote because nobody's going to listen. So, Federer's going to win. He's going to get the fan vote, and everyone's going to be fine. Federer's going to get in, and the fan vote, and whatever. And it won't even be close. Federer will get 70% of the votes, just because, and it's just not even fair. So Delpo and Kuznetsova are not going to get in, which is not fair. They're not even going to get considered this year. It was just a waste of time. Why are they even doing a fan vote? It's a waste of time. 15 love. Just put Federer in. 15 love. Least serving to stay in the match. As with a backhand now to the forehand of Lys. Lys hits it wide. It's 15-0. By the way, when they do when they eventually induct Federer, Nadal, Murray, Serena, Djokovic eventually, when they've got all those players in, Venus as well, after that, who they're going to get? I mean, you got Wozniacki, who's still around. Simona Halep could be someone they put in 5 years. Wawrinka, if he retires, could be somebody you consider. Maybe you do consider in 5 or 6 years from now when we get all the GOATs in and then they're running. Because in 2030, they're going to start running low on players. Because let's be honest, tennis was hogged by a handful of players for 20 years. So they're going to run out. Once you get Federer, Nadal, Djokovic, Murray, Wawrinka, Serena, on the women's side, there's definitely a lot more players you could put in. You got Kerber, you got Muguruza, right? You got Halep, like I said, Wozniacki. They could all get in. But on the men's side, after Stan, who do you put in? I mean, maybe that's when Delpo gets in. Maybe Cilic gets a chance to go in, right? Maybe Cilic will have an opportunity. But by the time we get to in 10 years' time, we're going to have no one on the men's side to put in the Hall of Fame. Because they're going to be all, who are we going to put in? That's when Juan Carlos Ferrero might get a chance or somebody else. But on the men's side, yeah, I mean, they're going to run out of players once you put those 4 players in, right? Or those 5 players with Stan. 40-30. As Gauff hits a wide. And it's Lys holding. Gauff's going to serve for this match. Yeah, Moya. Yeah. But on the women's side, yeah, we've got a lot of players that you could put in, in five in the next decade. A lot of players you could put in. Who else is... Wozniacki still plays, so she's technically not retired anyway. So she's... But in 10 years' time, you know... who else is sort of... I mean, we're not even mentioning Dominic Thiem. You know, he'll be eligible, right? In 5 years. We're not even... And I'm not even mentioning any, you know, doubles players, which is shame on me, but I'm just not as smart. About doubles. But yeah, I'm looking down the list. So you got Halep. You've got who else you got? You got Sonia Mirza, doubles player, like singles player, but also doubles. She'll get in. She'll get in for that. You would expect Serena, obviously. Barty as well. Now, I'm not great with doubles names. So there might be some doubles players that I'm overlooking. Kuloff, maybe. Maybe he gets a chance. Yeah, Team Murray and Nadal all eligible at the end of the decade. Yeah, there might be some doubles names that I'm not familiar with. Max Mirny, is he in? He was a great doubles player. Maybe Max Mirny gets a chance eventually. Anyways. Lys with the first point, love 15. As Coco tries to get the first, get into the semi-finals first. As it goes wide by Lys on the return, 15-0. Yeah, you gotta if you want a Grand Slam, that's the first thing you've got to do to get into the Hall of Fame. You don't get in the Hall of Fame if you don't win a Slam. That's wild. Hall of Fame, it'd be like putting an NBA player who hasn't won a championship in the Hall of Fame. That's wild. Like, you have to have won something to be considered. Anyways, backhand from Lys is wide, 30-15. Coco has a great record in Beijing, never not made the semis. Really? Wow. Nice. All right. Coco serves again. 30-15. 2 points away. And the return goes into the forehand of Gauff. Lys with the forehand on the stretch. And then Coco puts away the smash. 40-15. Not exactly similar to NBA. Yeah, but NBA, like, if you haven't won a championship, are you in the Hall of Fame? Like, has anyone been in the Hall of Fame that hasn't won? Oh, wait. Yeah, Charles Barkley, right? So, okay. You're right. There's players that haven't won championships. That's true. But they won MVPs, right? Anyways, bad example. 40-15. Backhand return into the backhand of Gauff to the backhand of Lys. Lys, it's wide. Gauff's into the semis. Gauff's into the semis. She gets it done in straights. Wasn't pretty, but she gets it done. And they hug it out of the net. But Coco's into the semis. Lys had a great week. Career high ranking after this week. And we'll find out later who Coco will play in the semis on Saturday. NBA doesn't have a Hall of Fame. It's basketball. Oh, my bad. Anyways, bare minimum to get in the Hall of Fame, you have to win a Grand Slam. That's it. That's it. That's the rules. Look at the Hall of Fame. No one in the Hall of Fame has, as a player, has not won a Slam. So they're not gonna put anyone who hasn't won a Slam in there. All right. Michael Chang's the standard. Well, what about Goran? I mean, Chang and Goran. Why is Chang the standard? You mean the bare minimum? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you mean? What did Chang? But Chang had a good career. He made four Grand Slam finals, won a slam. He was number 2 in the world, 34 titles. I feel like he won 7 Masters 1000 series. He made the ATP finals twice. Oh, sorry, once. He made 4 Grand Slam finals and won one. I think Goran is probably the like he is the if you're like he only won 22 titles. He was number 2 in the world at the time as well, which so was Chang. He made 4 Grand Slam finals, so they're pretty similar. But Chang won more titles, so I would say that it would be. And Goran only won 2 1000 titles as well, whereas Chang was better than Goran. But yeah, so Goran got in because of Chang. No, I would argue that Goran got in because if you're number 2 in the world and you have a Grand Slam, you are. If you've been in the top 3 in the world and you have a Grand Slam, you'll be considered. You might not get in, but you'll get on the short list, and then it goes from there. But the first thing is you have to win a slam. If you don't win a slam, you're not going to get in. That's why Rios won't get in, because he'd never won a slam, even though he was number 1. He never won a slam, unfortunately. Reload the stream? Why? Oh, I thought you were talking me. Before Chang, was anyone with less than 2 slams in? Actually, that's a good question. I don't know. If that's what that makes, if you're talking about that, then maybe you're onto something. Anyone with less than 2 slams get in. Good question. When did Chang get in though? Chang got in like in the 2000s, right? Michael Chang got in like 2008. Pat Rafter won 2 slams. Yannick Noah, he only won 1. Got in 2005. And Yannick Noah was number 3 in the world, 22 slams. I mean, again, I don't know what this. Do you not like Michael Chang? I feel like Michael Chang's had a better career than Yannick Noah, and Yannick Noah got in first. So I mean, why do you not like Michael Chang? Andy Roddick, yeah, but Andy Roddick was number 1 in the world, so it was a little less. Like that made a little more sense. Let's have a look down the list. Borg. Tony Roach got in, but he played a lot. He won a lot of doubles, so maybe that's part of the reason he got in as a player, as a singles and doubles player. Maybe that's why Roachy got in. Fred Stolle, he won 2 slams, so that is fair enough. But yeah, I mean, look, there are a few players. Yana Novotna, she only won 1 slam. Got in at the same, her and Yannick Noah. So if you want to pinpoint a time when they started to lower the bar a little bit and allow more players in, you would say it would be 2005. Novotna and Yannick Noah, who both won 1 slam. Before them, most players had won 2 or more. So it wasn't Michael Chang. Come on, give Michael Chang some Come on. Give him some credit. I would say that it was probably Novotny and Jannik Noah in 2005. That's when they started letting in players that were more... I mean, Jannik Noah did win doubles, though. I'm pretty sure, didn't he? Hang on, did he win... How many doubles? He did play well. He was a doubles guy, too. He won one double... he won 0 double slams. Oh, sorry, 1 French Open doubles as well. He was number 1 in the world in doubles, though. So maybe he was doubles as well. Novotny had a great doubles record, so she got in because of doubles too. Okay. Chang didn't play doubles. Didn't. Okay. All right. You might be onto something, but still. I feel like unless Chang won doubles that I'm not remembering. Either way. Yeah, Chang won the Davis Cup. All right. You might... Okay. I can see where you're coming from. All right. Lisa's like a more aggressive and error-prone version of Paolini, but without the guile and touch. Okay. So how much did you lose? By the way, Paolini and Nisimova is not starting now, is it? No, it's starting in an hour. Why are they telling me it's starting now? It's weird. No, it's starting in an hour, right? What if you win a double slam like Keegs? Nah, 1 double slam won't be enough to get in the Hall of Fame. You got to be like one of the best doubles players on the planet, like the Bryan brothers, or you're going to have a Grand Slam singles title as well to go with all your double stuff. All right. I'm going to send you over to the next one, which is going to start in about an hour. So we've got to find out who's going to play Coco in the semis, which, I mean, very interesting. Very interesting matchups coming up with... we're going to have at least a couple of top 10 clashes coming up, starting with the next one, and then the winner of that will play a top 10 player again. So this is a part of the year chat where I like to say that we've got, we have a bit of a WTA finals preview, right? Because Anisimova and Paolini could play in the WTA finals in a few weeks' time, and then of course the winner of that could play Gauff. Either of those players could play Gauff in the WTA finals in a couple of weeks. So yeah, we're at that point in the year where we might be seeing a lot of these players take each other on in the big finale that is in Riyadh. So definitely we've got to pay attention to what's happening here. But jump on over there, talk amongst yourselves. We'll be back in about an hour to watch the second match. But Gauff wins 6-3, 6-4. She's into the semis. Again in Beijing, defending champion gets through Lys in straights. I'll see you in about an hour.